Hi, I'm Danielle Romano.
And I'm Monte Curry.
This week on AHS News, we take a look at our art teacher, Miss McGregor, dual modality.
Live from the Hive is AHS News. Due to the high level of quarantines, the school board voted to require teachers to support dual modality.
Let's look at the half-day training that teachers went through to get ready for this change.
The Aiken County Public School District has announced the decision on half-days. Here's Mr. Red, Ms. Gorthy, and Jabrasia with a few words.
I think they're going to be good for teachers to get some instruction on using Schoology, Microsoft Teams. There are a lot of teachers who don't feel confident using those two platforms, so I think more instruction and time that they can have in the classroom to implement those into remote learning will be beneficial to the students and for the long term as we continue to deal with this pandemic.
The early release day is appropriate for us to be able to learn and perfect our practice at recording our lessons and learning how to live stream them. That for me, it'll be beneficial regardless of whether students actually who are on quarantine actually look at them at the time.
I do believe these half days are the right call due to the fact of the teachers being overwhelmed and stressed.
Adjusting to the half-days can be difficult, therefore we ask these teachers and students how they prefer to adjust it.
I think they'll manage. There'll be some frustration in the beginning, but I think they'll do okay. I mean, last school year was really a good teaching moment for everybody involved, students and teachers. So I think they'll adjust to it pretty well.
Due to the number of quarantine students and coming in and out and teachers giving work while they were out, it would help them relieve a lot of stress and get a lot of work done.
It was a train wreck those several weeks when everybody was quarantined. You had half a class. It was really hard to make any progress. So I'm glad everybody's back. So it's fine.
Having just that extra time so teachers can feel more confident using Schoology and Microsoft Teams will benefit students and will benefit us as teachers to ensure that when students are quarantined, they can continue to get the instruction they need and their assignments. Not every teacher is using Schoology, not every teacher is using Microsoft Teams, and so they need to feel confident in using those as we move forward.
I think that anything that our administration and our leadership decide is going to be a good call.
Aiken County has to find ways to relieve the teachers' stress rather than piling them on with work, especially with Teams. While they're teaching in the classroom, while teaching on Teams, I think that there should be another way that they should help teachers relieve their stress.
This has been Khalil Gillen with AHS News.
It's kind of stressful for the teachers because, you know, like they got to deal with all that and everything. And then my mom a teacher, so she got to go through that virtual stuff too. And then she got to worry about the students in her classroom. So I kind of honestly like feel like the teachers shouldn't do virtual school like we should just do like virtual our own.
So I think the dual modality is a lot to add on to teachers' plates at this time of the year. I would have preferred that would have been something that was discussed over the summer and maybe our training before school started this school year.
I think that it's important that students are able to complete work and stay caught up while quarantined. It's certainly not their fault that we're here in these times, but I also feel that it's asking classroom teachers to do double the work with very little compensation.
And they'll be prepared to help us learn better from at home.
So I feel like dual modality is a good teaching resource, especially for students who are at home and might be sick or do not have the means to get to school just because of quarantine or other situations, but I'm willing to go the extra mile for the students as long as it's in their best interest.
How do I think it'll help students and teachers? I think for teachers, it gives them a feeling that if a student is absent, they have something that they can provide for that student that will allow them to catch up. And as for students, it will allow them to catch up, and it also allows them to go back and watch stuff again so that they can get a better understanding.
Aiken High has an excellent art program.
Here's some information about one of our amazing art teachers, Ms. McGregor.
Miss McGregor, also known as Miss Mac, is one of our beloved art teachers, and we were able to score an interview to see what goes on behind the scenes. Let's find out what inspired her to become an art teacher in the first place.
I have always known that I wanted to do something with art, and I've always known that I wanted to do something with kids because those have always been two constants. I love helping people and I love art, and it's just like a natural progression.
Let's find out what a day in her life is like.
Waking up, caffeine, just coming in and greeting everybody, and just working with the students, getting them inspired, just enjoying making art with them.
We wanted to know why teaching art to kids was so important to her.
I think that art is just as important as core subjects. You get things out of a course in art that you don't necessarily get in other places. One thing that I really appreciate about art as a subject is there are very few times where there are right and wrong answers. It's very subjective. It allows you to problem solve, and there are constant connections to other disciplines, to culture, to just all areas of our world are influenced by art. And there's almost nothing that's cut and dry, so you really have the opportunity to be really creative. I think students spend a lot of time in the internet world, in phone land, and it's really healthy for them to pause for a minute and sit down and make something with their hands, to be expressive, and to learn to tolerate and be accepting of other people's opinions, their views, their feelings, their experiences. So.
We also asked her what her favorite art form was.
Me, I love to work with ceramics, so clay, and I love to paint people.
When asked the question, what artist would you like to be compared to, she responded with,
I don't know that if there's an artist that I'd like to be compared to, because I think of myself as a teacher first and an artist second. But I do have a couple of teachers who were really influential to me, who were art teachers, who I aspire to be like them. And there were a couple of them at University of USC Aiken, a couple at Lander, who were just really awesome teachers and artists. I'd like to be like them.
We wanted to recognize Miss Mack for all of her hard work and dedication towards the students of Aiken High.
Now for this week's announcements.
We are selling Krispy Kreme donuts. Find a broadcast journalism student to purchase a $10 dozen card that will be sent straight to your email.
Use this card to redeem a dozen original glazed at any Krispy Kreme store at any time. Our first order will be placed on October 1st. Find Miss McGee in room C255 for more details.
We would also like to encourage you to check out our new podcast called Live from the Hive. It is coming soon.
You can listen to it anywhere you listen to podcasts, and if you have anything you want us to discuss, let us know. This has been Danielle Romano
and Monte Curry with AHS News.
Thank you for watching, and go Hornets!